Now you're going to see the fun part of this. Reporters, you can ask me questions about this, and then after that we can take some general questions.
So Joe, what is the alternative? I mean, if you bought this, do you have to come up with a site in another part of the city?
No, absolutely not. Right now, there are 12 sanitation districts in Manhattan. The solid waste management plan says 5 of those districts will be able to have the trucks come here and building a 10-story building with cranes on the outside, trucks lined up all along the street, and those 5 would then get shipped out somewhere on a boat and go off to Queens and then go on rail to not to Queens, excuse me, to Staten Island. The remaining sites, the 7 districts in Manhattan, will continue to go to New Jersey. It'll continue to go every night from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. A convoy of trucks goes through the Holland Tunnel and the Lincoln Tunnel. Believe me, the Port Authority benefits because each and every one of those trucks pays a toll, and in the process of it, they get our garbage. All the garbage from Manhattan, as it's been being done for the last 14 years, it's been going to New Jersey. It should continue to go to New Jersey. It will not go to another borough. We should extend that contract, and I encourage everybody to look at the report that was done by the IBO, the Independent Budget Office, that shows how expensive this project is going to be. Exporting the garbage outside of New York using the solid waste management plan approach will cost 3 times as much per ton of garbage than continuing the contract over with the waste energy plant in New Jersey. Why is this issue so important to me? My personal involvement in this project goes back to what I said earlier. When I had to close Fresh Kills and put together a plan, this was the first marine transfer station I shut down. I know what it did to the neighborhood back then. I know how horrible it was to see the trucks lined up. And since then, Asphalt Green has grown and grown and grown. And the last thing in the world we need is a marine transfer station. And it's the only one that the city was recommending be done in a residential neighborhood. Let alone that, it's going through a park. And it shouldn't be going through a park. And I also expect to live in a building right over here someday. So for me, it's even more personal. Actually, it's not a building, it's a big white house.
It's yellow.
Now you know I'm colorblind. Yes.
Well, staying on that topic of the plan that was developed to close Fresh Kills in the late 1990s, is it that the plan itself was deficient, or that the Bloomberg administration has failed to adequately put it into place that's gotten us to where we are today?
The plan that was developed to close Fresh Kills was an expensive plan, and the Bloomberg administration wanted to coordinate and use the waterways more than they were being used instead of trucks. Garbage in the Bronx only stays in the Bronx, it goes out by rail. Garbage in Queens gets packaged up and then shipped out. Garbage in Manhattan goes by truck every night in the middle of the night to New Jersey. Garbage in Brooklyn is also packaged together, and it's taken out by tractor trailer. And in fact, you see them all the time on the BQEs. And so, you know, the plan was expensive. They wanted and there's also a requirement that you have to update the solid waste management plan. I think the law says every 10 years. And so, you know, in the process of doing it, they rethought the way it should be done, and they thought building this marine transfer station, opening up a dump in a residential area, was the right way to go about it. I couldn't disagree more. Thank you. I want a pin with my name on. Hey, Jake, make some pins. Yes.
Are there any other stations in the overall waste transfer management plan that you think should be closed, or is this the only one?
No, this is the only one. This is the only one. All the rest of them are industrial areas, like in Queens and in the industrial part of College Point. No, they're not necessary.
This is usually, you know, environmental activism is usually more of a Democratic issue than a Republican issue. Do you think this is something where we can attract a lot of traditional Democratic voters?
You know, I take great offense at the idea that environmental activism is a Democratic and a Democratic-only concept. Right. It is so wrong. It was a Republican president. It was a Republican president who who came up with the idea to create the Environmental Protection Agency. Not a Democrat, a Republican president with an idea and putting it forward. I will not cede any issue to the Democrats whatsoever. They own nothing. This is an issue that's of concern to the people of the city of New York, and they deserve to have somebody representing their points of view. This is a health issue. This is an environmental issue. This is a parks issue. We should not allow a dump to be built in a residential neighborhood. And you know what's really unfortunate? It's a political issue. People's health should never be a political issue. We need to make sure this dump never opens, this marine transfer station never opens up again, and it disappears forever, and you'll have the coastline and a complete view of the East River forever and ever.